There's a foggy day today. Didn't really expect this. I haven't really been looking at the forecast lately. Just the expected sunshine day after day after day, which we've been leveraging. It's been quite nice. Getting a lot of work done through harvest here. But with this foggy weather, I look to the forecast and it appears we are transitioning into more of a cooler type, maybe more fall type weather. And it certainly looks like it. And it's starting to feel like it. And oddly enough, it's October 1st. October 1st is an important day within my management of my colonies. I set out certain objectives, certain targets. I like to have things met at certain times of the year just to help me gauge where I need to be from experience of years past, and just to help plan my management around so I don't get caught in pockets of unusual weather that throws me for a loop. I can take those pockets of unusual weather and manage them within the overall strategy. So I can kind of consider that, but trying to meet my overall objective all at the same time. One of the rules I follow within my fall management is my October 1st rule. And that is, I want to manage these colonies in a way that I have them, they're doing all the work. I'm not really doing anything but just kind of prepping around the edges. But I'd like to have them set for winter and completely fed up with all their winter stores, or practically all that they need, cured, ready to go by October 1st. That's my deadline. You never know if you have October. October could come in nice and warm weather and provide you lots of opportunity to get things satisfied for winter. But we have Octobers that'll come and fall on us like an axe. And all of a sudden we're in winter and we're wondering, holy crap. And it's hard to play catch up once that axe falls. So I try to have my entire apiary in shape for October 1st to make sure I'm not caught scrambling. Right now, the colonies, practically what we see now in these nests, this is the winter nest. There's still probably some summer bees in here, but for the most part, the summer bees have all died off. What we're seeing is a well-established winter nest. I'm noticing even like yesterday was 24 degrees. And I'm noticing even with those warm days, these bees aren't flying too far. I used to have a lot of pressure around the honey house. I couldn't even open the doors because the bees are there smelling that comb, right? They're smelling the sweet stuff. And there's just so much pressure around the doors. All that's completely eliminated. We've been running with our doors wide open just to help cool down the shed, to slow down wax moth infestation. And we don't have any bees around the honey house anymore. They are all slowing down. They're sticking pretty close to home. And maybe the furthest they're flying would be going to those open feeders. I'm going to go around shortly here with the scale just to see where we're at, to see how much we need to provide for them through October as we get the opportunity to feed them. But I'm thinking we're pretty much done. These colonies are well prepared for winter. The old heft test. Oh, ready for winter. Can't help myself. I just want to crack a few colonies to see. It's 10 degrees right now. Kind of a cold day. These bees are really slow today. It was 5 degrees last night. So they should be clustering. These winter bees, they're not too active. They just kind of, hold themselves. So I should be able to see a winter cluster. Let's take a peek. See what I got. Oh, holy moly. It's a box of bees. That was a good one to start with. That's what I want to see. Quite slow this morning. Ay, ay, ay. Balked bees. Still have my dead spots to fill in yet. Nothing over there. It's gonna be quite difficult because when I'm cracking boxes like this is the problem with managing these type of equipment. You manage a box over into the empty spot there to fill in dead spots, and all these bees on the floor just makes things a little more awkward. Not that I'm complaining about that. I might wait for a little bit of a cooler morning or cooler day, tighten that cluster up a little bit, just try to get them off that bottom board before I move them. I still have my Apnavar strips in. And that treatment doesn't come out until the second week of October. I might push it next week, end of next week, just to keep things on a timely basis. Maybe focus on some real nice weather that comes through to capitalize on maybe a little bit of a looser cluster of bees to make her work a little bit better. I'd like to keep them in for the full treatment period though, especially, although we've been quite warm. So these nests have been active enough. Those strips should have been able to do what they needed to do. They call for like closer to 50 days when it's cooler, but I think I'll pull it back to that 40 days and then do some more washes at that time just to make sure that I've cleaned up anything that needed to be cleaned up. And at the same time after that, with my assessments previously, I'm looking at very small patches of brood left in these colonies. So when we're getting into that end of the first week, into that second week of October, I'm going to send Carrie around with the oxalic and just give them a blast, as I've been doing for the last little while. Seems to be a nice compliment. This colony here is a nuke, a 5-frame nuke that I transferred into a single box just to help fill in dead spots. This is one of my fall splits that I've been making. I just shook the bees off the window of the hot room, dropped a queen cell in, and got them going. We'll see if it actually translates into a survivor in the spring. Oh, that's a nice little healthy nest. That's what I want to see. So that might actually work out. Late splits, it's really tough because we're working almost in a sense against the conditions and against the way the bees are setting up. You take a bunch of shook bees, end of August, drop a queen cell in there, get that queen mated and have her want to ramp up brooding. At that time, there's nothing to feast on. So there's no actual protein coming into the colony of pollen to be able to build that big winter nest that you want to. So then you focus on supplements, but supplements only go as far. So then you're in a sense resting on the bees within that nest to provide the nourishment to fulfill that nest. And you see it in the size of that winter nest they are actually able to develop. There's a lot of dynamics all working together at the same time. Let's find another one. And my job is just trying to complement those dynamics. Poked into that one. Here's another one here. It's another nuke we transferred to 5-frame. So we put a 5-frame nuke in here and we slapped in some honey around the edges. That cannot be a 5-frame nuke. Here's one here. No. Yeah, this is another nuke we transferred in. So that nuke, I tipped this back just a few hives ago. So I think it might be working. That is good. Things are looking the way I want things to look right about now. So I'd say in regards to my target, I was throwing that axe, it's getting pretty close to that target. The hives are slowing down. They're kind of settling in, hunkering down in a way, packing full of food. Dripping from the frames. Right on target.